May I just say, sir, and I'm by no means an expert, but that muted green with the flecks of gold, I think would be a wonderful complement to the woodwork, the walls, and your eyes.
The apprehension that people have of the pretty boy, the pretty face, and the beautiful body, and the high energy, is, I mean, that's all true. He is that. He is handsome. He is engaging. But when you talk to him, or when you read his plays, or when you read the lyrics to the songs that he writes, or when you watch his acting in a role like Hamlet, you find out that this is not just a pretty boy.
I think very early on I recognized within him a passion and a desire that is worth as much in this business as talent. I mean, there are a lot of talented people that don't have the desire or the tenacity to stick with it. But he had all of those things.
He was almost born a performer. He was a show-offy little kid, you know, one of those kids that does things and waits for applause and laughter. He was always interested in being in plays at school.
I don't know really how I ended up in acting. I mean, I think I wanted to be Paul Newman. I think most actors, when they get in it, it's because they would like to be somebody. Which, of course, then disappears once you actually start down the road to it, because it's much more complicated than just being Paul Newman. And I think probably, I know that other people have said this, there seems to be a high proportion of Army brats or Air Force brats who end up in the performing arts. And I think it's partly because you have to reinvent yourself every couple of years. You know, you move into a whole new setting, which you have to acclimatize to and present a kind of personality that will be accepted as, you can actually have some friends and someone will speak to you.
But his intelligence and the kinds of choices that he made in improvisation, in his energetic demeanor in class, made him stand out.
For me, personally, it was very inspirational to be around him, because I was passionate, but I picked up on his energy and his desire to do good work and tell good stories and be a part of something that we hoped could influence other people and change the world a little bit.
What I remember mostly are these nights in bars, screaming about the importance of art and arguing about whether Chekhov is a comedian or a dramatist or a tragedian. And these kinds of really intense conversations. One really good thing that a school can give you, and U of A did for me, was put you into parts that you would never ordinarily play. So you really get kind of, actors use this term all the time, you get stretched in different directions and you have to reach for things that you might not come naturally to you.
I think Hamlet at Stratford was my favorite. I thought he was so good in that part that it was, yeah, the best thing I've seen him do, I think.
I was blown away by it myself, but then, you know, I'm a little partial.
He was excellent, and after having been off the stage for a number of years, that was a pretty gutsy move. But again, that's Paul, you know, pushing the limits and giving it everything he's got.
I've never had an experience like it. I don't imagine I'll ever have one to match it. Not that it's all good. Playing Hamlet is sort of like going to the world's worst therapist every 2 days, the most brutal analyst you could possibly hire. It's a very, very grueling experience. But to get to play it in a production that I thought was nice and lean and taut on the single greatest stage in North America is that's a real buzz. I get asked that question fairly often. What do you like, this or that, more than another, or writing or acting? And I think they don't seem to me to be separate pursuits. They're all kind of the same thing. I think fundamentally, if you reduce everything that anybody does in the arts, reduce it all down in a funnel to one point of commonality, it's that we're all essentially sitting around a campfire at night telling a ghost story. So I'm one of the ghost storytellers.